Happy Friday, guys. I'm going to go over the 5 problems that I gave to you to work through on the Unit 1 reteach in preparation for your test that is on that you're going to retake on Monday. So I'm going to go through these fairly quickly, and remember, you can pause, rewind, you can speed them up if you just want to check your answers, and use it as you wish. Okay, so let's start with the first one. The first question is solve for x, and here we have a 2-step equation. Draw our line first. The first thing we want to do is get our negative 2x by itself, and I have a negative 18, so let's move that by adding to both sides. Okay, that goes to 0. We have negative 2x equals 24. Now let's, last step, the second step, is divide by whatever's in front of the x. So that is a negative 2. Don't lose the negative. That was a common mistake that I saw on the test last week when I was grading them. So that negative 2 divided by negative 2 becomes 1. And then x is 24 divided by negative 2, which is negative 12. There's our answer. So that's the first one. Let's look at the second one. Again, we are solving for x. This time, we have some parentheses to deal with. So the first thing we need to do is deal with the parentheses by using distribution to get rid of them. And remember, with distribution, we multiply. So negative 3 times x, just put it together, negative 3x. A negative 3 times a negative 2. Remember, when your signs are the same and you're multiplying and dividing, it is always a positive product or quotient, so positive 6. Then we need to distribute the 4 to the 2 minus x, pardon me. So 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times negative x is just negative 4x, and then don't lose that positive 2. Saw that a lot on your work. Okay, next step is to combine any like terms. Now I can't combine anything on the left side of my equation, but I can put that 8 and 2 together. So I'm going to bring down my negative 3x plus 6 equals 8 plus 2 is 10, and I have my minus 4x. Okay, next we will look at getting x's on the left side. So I'm going to add my 4x because it's negative. So I'll make it positive. And that becomes positive x because 4 minus 3 is 1. So we have 1x. Bring down our positive 6 and bring down our positive 10. Now, to get x by itself, we have to subtract both sides, 6 from both sides. So x is equal to 4. And that is our second equation that we're solving. Okay, so number 3, let's switch gears and let's look at an inequality. So remember, solving inequalities is not really any different than solving an equation. So let's zoom in here really quick and we'll solve this. Okay, so work on getting that negative 2x by itself. We're going to subtract the 3 both sides. Bring down the negative 2x. Bring down your inequality. Don't switch it because we haven't done anything to cause us to switch it. And 11 minus 3 is 8. Remember to use inverse operations because you want it to go to 0. 3 minus 3 is 0. And don't lose that negative when you move it to the other side. The last step here is to divide both sides by whatever's in front of the x. Now, it's a negative number, so that means we have to flip our inequality. So x is 8 divided by negative 2, negative 4. Now, we are asked to graph this solution set. Now, looking at our inequality, that's going to tell us what type of point we're going to have on the end of basically the ray that we're going to draw. And that's a closed point, and we're going to start at negative, oops, my bad. Ooh, I had to put positive for negative 4. And the inequality shows us which direction to shade, and it's to the right because that's where all my x's are bigger than negative 4. So again, closed because of the equals to. If it was just greater than, we just put an open circle. Okay. Remember, use that direction. Again, it's pointing to the negative 4, so the inequality, so that's how I know to shade it to the right. Okay, let's just solve one without, you don't have to graph one. Again, looking at this, just like with equations, we need to deal with the parentheses first. So I'm going to distribute the 5 to the 3 minus x on the right side after I bring down whatever I have on my left side, which I don't need to do that here. So 5 times 3 is 15. 5 times negative x is just negative 5x. Now from here, this is where I've told you before, you can move x's and constants either direction. And you can do that in inequalities, but with inequalities, it's really important that we put all our x's on the left side of our inequality. Because that's how we read them, right? We start with the variable and then the inequality symbol and then the constant. So if we subtract 2 from 5, we get a positive 3x plus 6 greater than 15. Okay, sorry, I was interrupted. So at this point, we now have all our x's on the left side of our equation. So we're going to move our 6 to the right side. So we have to subtract it. And we'll bring down our 3x, be greater than, and then 15 minus 6 is 9. Now, I did see another area of maybe confusion that I did see is the last step in this is to move the 3 to the other side and get it away from the x. So get x by itself. So the x and the 3 are attached, and they're attached by multiplication. So we have to detach them using division. So detach division. So that's going to be our last step. Now we are not dividing by a negative number, so we do not need to flip our inequality symbol. And x is greater than 3. Okay, that was our last, the second inequality, and we've got one more, and this one is from lesson 1.5. This is our literal equation, and we are trying to solve for y. So we're trying to get that y value by itself. So here, with these types of equations that we're solving for y, we have 2 steps. And the first step is to get the negative 3y by itself, so to move the 4x to the left. So or to the right, I'm sorry. I'm going to subtract it because it's positive 4x. So I'm just going to kind of put it out here. Because notice, I've got a 15 and a negative 4x. Those are not like terms, so we need to keep them separate. I'm going to list the negative 4x first, and then put the plus 15. The last step in this is to get rid of, and again, just like I said previously, the negative 3 and the y are attached with multiplication, so we have to detach using division, so negative 3. The big difference here is we have to divide everything by negative 3 in this equation. So again, anytime you divide a number by itself, you get 1, so we're left with y by itself. Negative 4 over negative 3, you can put that in your calculator and it will simplify it for you. That becomes a positive 4/3. Negative divided by a negative is positive, and 4 divided by 3 is already simplified, so we're good. 15 divided by negative 3 is negative 5. And there you go. You can rewatch this video. You can speed it up, slow it down. If you would like to have more practice or see some more examples, you can watch the lesson videos for 1.3, 1.4, and 1.5. Or you can even do a YouTube search. I hope you have a great weekend, and I hope you're feeling more confident and ready to retake your test on Monday. Y'all have a great weekend. See you then.